Ever wondered how automatic account determination in SAP MM works? You're about to find out. Welcome everyone. Today we're delving into the world of SAP MM, specifically focusing on the automatic account determination feature. This powerful tool is integral to the SAP MM system, enabling seamless automatic determination of the appropriate general ledger accounts for a variety of procurement transactions. From goods receipts to invoice verifications, automatic account determination ensures financial entries are accurate, consistent, and in line with your organization's accounting standards. We're fortunate to have Daniel, an SAP MM expert, joining us for an enlightening discussion. He'll shed light on the key elements involved in automatic account determination, its connection with valuation classes, and much more. So whether you're a seasoned SAP user or just beginning your journey, this conversation promises to be insightful. Let's dive into our interview with Daniel, an SAP MM expert. So Daniel, what is automatic account determination in SAP MM, and why is it important? Let's delve into that. Automatic account determination in SAP MM is essentially a process that takes the wheel when it comes to determining the correct general ledger, or GL accounts, for various procurement transactions. Think of transactions such as goods receipts or invoice verification. Imagine a bustling marketplace where hundreds of transactions are taking place every minute. Now, if you were to manually determine the GL accounts for each of these transactions, it would be an overwhelming and time-consuming task, wouldn't it? That's where automatic account determination steps in. Like an efficient backstage manager, it ensures that financial entries align perfectly with the organization's accounting standards. Now, why is it important, you ask? Well, accuracy and consistency are the bedrock of any accounting system. In the absence of these, the entire financial structure of an organization could crumble. Automatic account determination acts as a safety net, ensuring that every financial entry is accurate and consistent with the organization's accounting standards. The process involves several key elements such as valuation classes, which classify materials into categories based on their valuation method. Then we have account keys that link these valuation classes to GL accounts. Transaction keys define the nature of the transaction. And finally, the chart of accounts represents the organization's structure of GL accounts. In essence, automatic account determination is like the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring every instrument, or in this case, every transaction, is in harmony with the overall performance. So the next time you see a goods receipt or an invoice verification, remember that behind the scenes, automatic account determination is working tirelessly, maintaining the accuracy and consistency of your organization's accounting system. It sounds like this process is essential for accuracy and consistency in accounting. Indeed, it is. And that's automatic account determination for you in a nutshell. All right, what are the key elements involved in automatic account determination in SAP MM? Let's delve into them one by one. First off, we have the valuation classes. These are essentially tags that classify materials based on their valuation methods. For instance, one valuation class might categorize materials valued using the moving average price, while another might be for materials valued at a standard price. Next up, we have account keys. Think of these as the bridge that connects valuation classes to general ledger or GL accounts. These keys are integral in ensuring that the right GL account is selected for each procurement transaction. Then we have transaction keys. These define the nature of the transaction that's taking place. It could be a goods receipt or invoice verification. The beauty of these keys is that they offer consistency, as they standardize the process of identifying different types of transactions. Last but not least, we have the chart of accounts. This is essentially a complete list of an organization's GL accounts. It provides a structured overview of the financial accounts, making it easier to manage and organize them. Now, you might be wondering how all these elements come together. Well, here's the magic. When a transaction occurs, say a goods receipt, SAP MM looks at the valuation class of the material being received. It then uses the account key to link this valuation class to a GL account. The transaction key helps identify the nature of the transaction, and the chart of accounts provides the structure for the GL accounts. These components all play a crucial role in automatic account determination. Together, they ensure that the correct GL accounts are chosen for each transaction, leading to consistent and accurate financial entries. And as we know, accuracy in financial reporting is not just important, it's absolutely essential. So remember, understanding these key elements can go a long way in mastering automatic account determination in SAP MM. Can you explain the relationship between valuation classes and automatic account determination in SAP MM? Absolutely. Valuation classes are the heart of the automatic account determination process in SAP MM. Think of them as a classification system, categorizing materials based on how they're valued. For instance, you might have a valuation class for raw materials, another for finished goods, and yet another for spare parts. Each valuation class is associated with a specific valuation method, such as moving average price or standard price, which is used to calculate the value of the materials in that class. Now, here's where the magic happens. The automatic account determination process uses these valuation classes to determine the general ledger accounts for various procurement transactions. It's like the valuation classes are speaking a language that the automatic account determination process understands, guiding it to select the right GL accounts. So let's say you have a goods receipt transaction for raw materials. The automatic account determination process will look at the valuation class assigned to the raw materials, and based on that, it'll pick the appropriate GL accounts for raw material inventory and expense accounts. The same goes for other transactions like invoice verification. In essence, valuation classes play a crucial role in ensuring the accuracy and consistency of financial entries in SAP MM. So, the valuation class is like a bridge linking the material with the appropriate GL accounts. Opening. How does SAP MM determine GL accounts for a goods receipt transaction? When it comes to goods receipt transactions, SAP MM employs a meticulous and comprehensive approach to determine the appropriate general ledger, or GL, accounts. The first stepping stone in this process is the valuation class assigned to the material being received. These valuation classes, as we've discussed before, categorize materials based on their valuation method, whether it's a moving average price, standard price, or something else entirely. Next in line is the transaction key. This key indicates the nature of the transaction, which in this case is a goods receipt. The transaction key plays a pivotal role in guiding the system to the correct GL account. The system then takes into account the organization's chart of accounts. This is essentially the structure of the general ledger accounts within the organization. The chart of accounts provides the system with a roadmap of where to post the transaction. Lastly, the system makes use of the account key. This key is what links the valuation class to the appropriate GL account. It's like the final piece of the puzzle, ensuring that the transaction lands in the correct account. And there you have it. This is how SAP MM determines the GL accounts for a goods receipt transaction. From the valuation class of the material, through the transaction key, chart of accounts, and finally, the account key. Closing. So, the system uses a combination of factors to decide the right GL account for a goods receipt. What is the significance of the valuation area in automatic account determination? Now that's a question that underlines the core of this discussion. The valuation area in SAP MM is a critical player when it comes to the process of automatic account determination. It essentially defines the level at which valuation and accounting are conducted. Think of it this way. The valuation area can be a plant, a storage location, or even a company code. This means that when you post a goods receipt or an invoice verification, the valuation area steps in to determine which general ledger accounts are used for that specific location or organizational unit. This is vital because it ensures that the accounting entries reflect the reality of where and how the transactions are taking place within the organization. This way, the data is not only accurate, but also specific to the context of the transaction. So, the valuation area defines the level at which valuation and accounting are carried out. How can organizations configure automatic account determination in SAP MM, you ask? Well, it's a process that involves several steps. First, Organizations need to define valuation classes for materials. These classes categorize materials based on their valuation method, like moving average price or standard price. Next, account keys need to be defined and linked to the appropriate valuation classes. These keys act as a bridge between valuation classes and general ledger accounts. Thirdly, transaction keys are created. These keys define the nature of the transaction, such as goods receipt or invoice verification, and are assigned to the appropriate transactions. The fourth step involves configuring the chart of accounts, which is essentially the structure of general ledger accounts within the organization. This chart is then linked to the valuation area. Finally, general ledger accounts are defined and assigned to the chart of accounts. These configurations ensure that SAP MM can automatically determine the appropriate GL accounts for each transaction.